All right, good morning. Tim Sykes here. Wanted to do a video just because I found a little pattern that's working right now and I want to share that. Congrats to everybody on COOT. Pretty amazing, from under $1 a share last night to now $5 a share. I took a piece of the move. I only made a few $100s, but you can probably hear and see I'm not 100%. I'm trying to be awake for these 4, 5, 6 a.m. runners and then, 4, 5, 6, 7 p.m. runners. And I'm actually here in Colombia with several of my top students. They're joining me now in building schools. We just opened a school yesterday. I got to post the photos and videos. I'm behind. But pretty awesome that, the students are not just the masters, several students, they're becoming philanthropists too. And I really think giving back puts everything in perspective and makes this so much more meaningful. So congrats to, David Hanlon, Eduardo, Edwin, Alex Chavez, Kyle Williams. They all donated like $10, $15, $20,000 each. And we're building several schools. I'll post more details on that soon, but that's why I'm here in Colombia. So charity during the day, and then trading, at night and in pre-market. And sometimes, like the other day, literally when we were at this school and I was supposed to make a speech, I was watching AQMS. AQMS was spiking up big. Oh, congrats to everybody in NUAI. I can't even keep up with the number of plays, but AQMS was a giant squeeze. And this thing went from 6 to, what did it hit? A high of 40, 6 to 40 in 2 trading days. It's stupid how much opportunity there is. And during the charity presentation, it was at 17, and I was watching my phone and they're like, Tim, you're up. You got to give a speech. And I'm like, AQMS is at 17. So it's tough if you're busy, but that's why I wanted to make this video. I want you to focus specifically on, a very specific pattern. And, AQMS, awesome big picture run up, but really tough to bank on. I've actually done decently on COOT, making a few hundred, and then AWX last night right before the challenge webinar. And this is where this idea for this video came to me. Let me pull up AWX. So AWX is in the same industry as AQMS. It's a sympathy play. I prefer lower price plays. I don't do well with, $20, $30 stocks. I like this. I don't like how fast it faded, but I like that it was running up. And this thing I think was already up, 40% before I bought? So it was already on the radar. And the question was, could it take out, the day highs? I think the day highs were, when was I buying it? Somewhere in here. I was buying it on a little bit of a dip off the highs, and I thought that it could keep going. And sure enough, it did. And, what I noticed, okay, pretty awesome trade for me, not just this morning on COOT, but this trade, making roughly $3,000. This is a big trade for me. And I bought it in the 370s, sold some in the 470s, and then I also added in the 470s because it went to the mid fives, all while I was, basically riding this thing. This was my biggest mistake. So it's cool. Okay, sympathy play, spiking. By the way, this is my second day in a row. We also had, LITM was a rare earth metal, kind of run to the litter, already up. I think 20% before I bought it. And then it just kept going. And this was while I was at the freaking charity presentation too. So I'm trying to position you guys. I'm trying to, play these myself, but at the same time, it's tough. I was buying it. I think I got it on it already spiked here. And I got it one of these dips. And then I sold it here in the mid fives, and then it went to the mid sevens. So, remembering what works helps you see the patterns better. So LITM, the whole strategy here was that this was the run to the litter in the rare earth metals. All the rare earth metal plays are spiking because of the tension with China and Trump. This is a former supernova, mind you. Okay, so it has gone supernova in the past, earlier in 2025. AWX, very similar, run to the litter. And with this one, I didn't have a charity project, but I had a webinar to give. And I know I'm full of excuses. So some people are like, come on, Tim. But it's true. I have charities and I have webinars, and it's tough to focus when this is going on. But anyways, AWX, I basically rode it from 4 to 5. So I took it during this choppiness. And as I said, my biggest mistake was selling it right at the close. I said, awesome runner. It hit all my goals and more. Maybe it spikes more, but I can't stick around. I have to give a webinar. So just playing it safe. And even as I was typing this, I sold it at around 5-ish right at the close. It was already spiking as I typed it to 520. That's how fast these things move. And in this minute, this was a crazy 3-minute candle, right? From right around $5 a share up to $7 a share in 3 minutes. And that was the inspiration for this video lesson, because we've seen a lot of these 3, 4, 5 minute run-ups. And this was amazing. I missed it. It's tough to judge. Like if you don't have your busy schedule, what would you have done? But I didn't like that in the 3 minutes into the close, it wasn't testing the highs. Like if it was testing 530, 540 into the close, I might have held. I'm not sure. I don't know what I would have done, but I didn't like the fact that it got up here to 520 for like 4 minutes in a row, and right into the close, it was coming down to like 490. So, remember, I'm already up $1 a share on this one. I know that I've made roughly $3,000. And I'm also giving a webinar. So I don't mind taking the profits, but it's pretty amazing that right as I was selling, right as I was alerting everyone that I was selling, this thing is spiking massive. In 3 minutes, $2 a share. And then I actually, was surprised at how far it went. So I tried a dip buy on the way down during the webinar. Didn't go so well. This one was me trying to buy the dip on the VWAP, potential VWAP hold. The VWAP was like right around here at like 550. You can see it tried to hold it for one candle and then just slammed back down. It just kept coming down, and today it's coming down too, as AQMS, the leader of the sector, is coming down too. So, when the leader of the sector comes down, the run to the litter comes down harder. When the leader of the sector spikes, the run to the litter can actually spike more too. So it works both ways. But I love this 3 minute candle, and we've been seeing a lot of this. LITM, again, I was at my school opening, so I didn't realize this in the moment. I always look back at charts when I miss them. I want to see like what I could have done better. But very interesting, this breakout right here, this wasn't, just 3 minute candle, but you have a nice breakout here from basically $5 and 60 cents a share, which is the high of the day breakout. And then it goes parabolic here into $7 a share. And this is really the best time that you want to be long these plays. Like this is nice from 550 to basically 7. But it took like, what is this? This is 11:45 a.m. This is 11:58 a.m. It's only 13 minutes. But with this is $1.50 a share. With AWX, it does $2 a share in 3 minutes. So for me, in the future, and that's why I'm making this video, because I want you to be prepared. In the future, I want to be ahead of plays like this. You have to know the plays ahead of time. Like I gave a challenge webinar yesterday, and I asked how many of you are using stock to trade breaking news. And most people said yes, but not all. And these are my top students. So I'm posting this for everybody. I'm guessing probably 50% of you don't use stocks to trade breaking news. Use it every single day. Seconds and minutes matters, okay? And they're alerting nonstop. My phone is blowing up even as I'm doing this video lesson. You need to know these stocks. You need to see which are the sympathy plays. And you need to be prepared at where the breakout levels are. So, with AWX, I made $1 a share, but I missed $2 a share in 3 minutes. And FYI, some people are like, oh, Tim, you could have sold at 7.5. I wouldn't have made it. Even if I had no webinar, even if I had nothing to do, 100% I'm selling into this candle at $6 a share. Best case scenario. So yeah, I missed out on $1 a share, but there's no way I would have held past 6. I just wouldn't have expected that upside. Even when I bought AWX the first time, day high is 410. So I'd love to sell on the 4s. And if it gets discovered like LITM, possibly the 5s. Okay. So nowhere in my analysis did I even think that it was going to the 6s, let alone the 7s. But it's pretty cool to see what kind of market we're in. So I had the win, but then I also had the loss on the dip buy. And this is the main point of this video. I know I'm all over the place. Forgive me. I have a severe lack of sleep. You have to be on the front side. Okay. And I saw a few people trying to dip buy, long after, like, at 4-ish and in the high 3s. And I was like, look, I try to dip buy. I don't mind being a little too aggressive because I just underestimated it so much. But if you want to be truly disciplined and not aggressive, just go for the front side. In AWX, there's a clear front side where the shorts are getting squeezed, and you see it specifically in 3 minutes. And then this is the backside. This is what's been happening with a lot of plays lately. And people are like, why is this happening? Plays used to bounce. Plays used to bounce because they were promoters, and the promoters, if the stock dropped, the promoters would dip buy it and re-promote it to kind of create like a soft landing so that no one would complain and the promoters could keep, their pump and dumps going. The reason why these things aren't bouncing is because, and I speculate, I don't know the exact reason, but I'm guessing it's because the number one catalyst lately for these stocks are short sellers getting squeezed. So when shorts are covering on the way up, specifically in these 3 minutes, and then maybe, some more shorts covering in here, after the shorts are out, there's no one buying, okay? And also, the sector leader AQMS was fading too. But this 3 minutes, this is what you want to focus on. You want to try to be there ahead of time for plays like this. With COOT, same kind of thing where, forget about today's run up. Yesterday afternoon or yesterday evening, I was like delirious here. We were having dinner with all the students and I was like, COOT, COOT, COOT. Same 3 minutes from 3:20 to 4:20. Okay, look at this. Like, it's uptrending, mind you. Okay, it's in a short squeeze. Trump, said maybe no cooking oil from China. So this is the cooking oil play. It's uptrending, but look at this. These 3 minute candles, $1 a share in 3 minutes. And then afterwards, no bounce whatsoever. Today, you had a little bit of a squeeze at the open at 4 a.m. I wasn't awake. Came all the way down to the high twos before actually, trying to squeeze. And mind you, look at this. So even here, it's under the VWAP here at around 6 a.m. I'm just waking up. I didn't even see this until now. Here, it's trying to have like big green candles, but you can see that the stock is not finishing at the high of that minute. So you don't get the big green candles. It fails to hold the VWAP. This yellow line is the VWAP. So you want these stocks above the VWAP. You want shorts being squeezed. That's when things can get crazy. With COOT, it couldn't happen here. It couldn't happen here. But, it happens here. And it's not exactly 3 candles, but this is 2 candles from 340 up to 430. 2 minutes, $1 a share. Okay, and you can see the volume is huge. This is when shorts are getting squeezed. Right here, okay, it's consolidating here. It breaks a little above the VWAP, but you want to try to position yourself with these small candles, with these gradual uptrends, because on heavily shorted names, they can spike big. You have 2 minutes here, and then also 2 minutes here from 370 up to 480, another 2 minutes, okay? And then again, it kind of fades and there's no big candles, and now we're kind of fading, and now, even as I'm filming this, it's dropping. I'm not trying to dip buy this. I was in from 407 to 470. Buy the front side with candles that are small and then look to sell into the candles that are big. It worked with AWX. I sold it a little too soon. It worked with COOT. I sold it pretty well, actually. LITM, I missed this big run up. There was another one I wanted to bring up. Oh, SDOT. SDOT is another one of these squeezers. And you can see here, it was last night. I can't even keep up, guys. I'm going to keep saying that so that you understand that. Here is last night from the 6s, and it's holding in the 10s. And you can see it's up nicely, small candles, small candles. But look at this. Right here, it spikes so quickly. Not just 3 candles. This is what? 4 candles. 4 candles, it goes from 11 up to 13. The same $2 a share before fading. And then I guess today it's gone up even more. But I'm not interested in the gradual fades, okay? I wasn't prepared to trade this, but this is what you want to focus on. Small candles with uptrending stocks, ideally above the VWAP, and then you look to sell into these crazy squeezes. You don't try to dip by the bounce. You don't try to dip by the backside. I don't care that it gaps up. You got to focus on the meat of the move. And the meat of the move is buying these uptrending stocks. SDOT is an example. COOT is an example. LITM is an example. And AWX is a good example. 4 examples. I'm going to get a coffee. Leave a comment below. Let me know if you're capitalizing on this. Congrats to so many students. I'm sorry I didn't congratulate everybody. Ginger Adams made $1 a share. Raj made nearly $1 a share. Roger made 50 cents a share. Super D made 10%, sold a little too soon. And then also shout out to, where was the other student? Terry, Inner Circle student. Very excited for him. He had a similar trade to me and he made $3,000. I'm excited to see everybody for the Miami Inner Circle. And by the way, we're doing a Miami cocktail party November 9th. I'll throw that out here. I'll link this below. It's $500. $250 of it is tax deductible. The other $250 is the cost because it's going to be an open bar and there's going to be some good appetizers in Miami Beach. But we're going to be basically, meeting up and having a cool event all together. I think I have 7 of my millionaire students confirmed to attend. So you can meet them. You can talk with them. Surprise, we're real. It's really great, I think, to network with traders in person. So all of the proceeds from this will go to building more schools in Colombia. I've got 127 schools now, but the goal is 1,000 plus schools. And it's pretty cool that, I donate my trading profits, but now students are also joining me. And it's really, I can't encourage you enough to get into charity. I know some people are like, just keep your money to yourself, but giving back to others, helping people, especially in communities in need, it really makes everything worthwhile. So congrats to everybody on these supernovas. I'll post a link to the Miami charity cocktail party, November 9th in Miami Beach. I'll share the location with you when you get the ticket, but it's going to be amazing. I'm so excited. I got to get some coffee.